Okay, welcome everybody to the March 12th Ortelius Architecture. I am in the process of doing some catch up on all the recordings. Um, so I'm haven't done any for the whole year, so I have to get them all published and stuff. And I'll get all the notes caught up on that front. This is the recordings for both the outreach and architecture. So you see a bunch of notifications coming through that I posted a bunch of stuff to YouTube today. Um, with that being said, the only real thing I'm trying to wrap up is using Terraform to create a new cluster in AWS and install Flux and then go ahead and sync and do a full deployment. Um, Terraform and Flux are arguing with each other, so it's quite a mess. But I should get it figured out today. Um, and one of the things that's kind of tripping me up is I wanted to figure out how to do the Flux without using like a AWS or GKE KMS key. And this is for you, Sasha. So you can create your key locally and upload it into Flux as a Kubernetes secret. So then it would use that key and that secret to decrypt other secrets for the deployment at that part.
Smart.
Yeah, it's just separating away from being tied to a specific KMS vendor on that front. And I did look at Vault, but Vault, because it's through HashiCorp, they make you pay for it, that type of thing. So this seems like the logical solution. So hopefully I'll get that working today, a full end-to-end clean deployment. Um,
This one.
yeah, so I should hopefully have something for you to start working with to deploy to your local clusters. Um, we'll probably need to do some revisions around the ingress and the load balancers, but we'll figure that out as we go. I think it should support traffic, but we'll see.
I
You
can
just
really
never. Yeah,
recommend
I like
Traffic.
traffic. It's
I love it.
one of the better ingresses.
So use Nginx. Still, you can still use Nginx, but in my experience so far, using Nginx for your application part, your front end of your microservice application, cool. But for the rest of the entire cluster, use Traffic because of that
Yeah,
auto discovery of services, right? It just makes your life so much easier.
yeah. So for the new version, I did not deploy an Nginx reverse proxy. Just having
Okay.
just having the ALB talk to the one front end service
So
directly.
just to Traffic.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, but that's clever. Yeah, that's really cool. That less complexity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some basic routing that happens. Let me show you real quick. Uh, find GitHub. Oh, that's weird. Sorry. There it is. Share my screen. Where'd you go, Zoom? So if we go to, so the ingress is in the front end. So in the chart, there's still some minor routing that happens. Um, so if you look here, let me zoom this in so you guys can actually see it. Um, so basically, all the REST API and the GraphQL go through the API um, path, and then all the rest of the front end stuff goes through here. So because of that, we can split out going to on this ingress. We do some basic routing between the two services. So in the version that we're currently running, we have like 12 microservices. This one we end up with not quite, maybe there's like six services that we are six pods that we end up running. Um, so it isn't quite the fine-grained microservice breakdown. It's more the front end, back end type of thing with the additional pieces that do the supporting stuff. So if you just go to oh, PD, PD. So the platform repo is the repo for the Terraform. The back end is all the REST API, GraphQL, and Kafka. This is the parent charts, our stateful set for the database. This one talks to the GitHub uh, application. So we did create a GitHub application so we can have better access to the logs and stuff. Then obviously the front end piece that is all the React and Node JS. The RBAC repo is for us to control the access control. This one I don't think is being used. This one kind of got merged into this one. So this release tracker will eventually go away. Um, and then the deployment GKE is a cloud function that looks at the Kubernetes audit logs in the GKE, what is that, stack driver. And then the OSV dev job is the one that downloads all the vulnerability data and loads it into Arango. So we still have a good number. We have 10 repos or 9 repos. Still good number of repos, but it seems to be laid out a lot easier to um, move along and keep things organized a little bit easier than the current version. Um, the um, and we're using Flux, so the platform part will actually look at some of the Flux pieces in the cluster. So this is this is where it's falling over right now, is on the actual deployment of the secrets over into EKS. So that's what I'm working to fix. Um, so I should have a hopefully by the end of the day a clean deployment for Kubernetes, and then we'll be able to um, start turning off the old site and just working with the new one. That's my goal. Hopefully by early next week. I'm a little bit behind on that because my travel up to Space Force kind of messed me up on that. And also, Terraform and Flux are just driving me crazy. I would not say I get the purpose of Terraform, but it is in the whole state management, but they get out of sync so easy.
Yeah,
If something
it is.
if something falls over, if it doesn't run smoothly, it has a hard
It,
time recovering
it's a nasty beast when it doesn't recover. Yeah, recovering. Yeah.
because it
It reminds
just
me of that. It reminds me of that Microsoft Exchange server back in the day.
yeah,
Works really well when it worked, but when it fails, ooh,
yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what we got going on. Trying to think what else. Oh, did I don't know if everybody saw. I don't know if Tracy had a chance to post it yet, but don't use OpenClaw. Um, so OpenClaw, that AI agent, um, they have like a repo where you can you can add skill sets for what OpenClaw can do.
mm,
Um, there was 20,000 new. skills that were added to OpenClaw in less than a month, and most of them were added by hackers. So as soon as you install OpenClaw, you're going to get hacked, and it's bad, like
That's really
really,
bad.
really bad on what it would do. And I haven't gotten the confirmation yet, but I've seen um, a whole uh, installation of GitLab, a wiki page, a bunch of chats, a thing called Rocket Chat. It's kind of like a open source chat tool. All got compromised, and the GitLab repos and everything like that
Oh
was all
my word.
were all compromised by I believe OpenClaw. I haven't been able to verify it yet, but it has the trademarks of that. Um, and then the other one we
Oh,
talked about was the Hacker Claw bot is another bad one. You got to steer clear of. So those are the kind of the updates I have. Um, Anybody else have anything from their side?
Nothing much, but I was just trying to integrate Renovate as well because there is some drift. So I thought like let's try to renovate and try to compare as we try to build.
Yeah.
So yeah, over the weekend I'm going to push the repository. I haven't pushed the repositories yet, just for that reason.
Oh, nice. I'll be curious. Let me know how that plays out, Ukarsh,
Yeah,
between the two.
and yeah, also wanted to ask you because how I'm running that into my organization is I've created a GitHub client. So this is how I'm getting access to all the repository inside the organization. Um, how do you want to, run for each of the repository? Should I create some kind of, integration where we can add that into action, or how you are envisioning that?
Um, we already have a GitHub client app that I
Okay.
needed to put together, so we'll probably have to integrate the two
Okay.
together. So, um, well, the client app is really thin because it's just like your secret, your key. I can't
Yeah.
remember if it's a SSH key or something. And then you get the access, and then any application that wants to go through, you give it the key and stuff like that. So if we'll have to figure out if we need to combine it into one program or if we just have two programs that are sharing the same connection details to act as a GitHub client. So
Okay.
we'll have to see how that works. Because
Mhm.
there's a GitHub, I'm sorry, a Kubernetes job that we run to go out and check for new releases and stuff like that. And we can
Mhm.
maybe add it into that to go ahead and do your part of checking for um,
Mhm.
bumping versions and things like that.
Mhm.
We'll
Nice,
just have to
nice.
see how it plays out, which way it makes sense. If we put it into a job that runs every 15 minutes, or if we want a standalone client that's more either on demand or it's on its own schedule.
Okay.
I can go either way on that. So,
Okay.
um, but um, there there has been a question that's been coming up um, that I've been asked by the Air Force and Space Force is how do we handle uh, using a LLM on a closed network, so an air gap network. And I've been, based on what Sasha has kind of pointed me to, I've been playing with some of the smaller, like Olama LLMs that you can run
Mhm.
locally without a GPU. Do you think a smaller model like that would still work for what you've implemented, or do we need a bigger parameter LLM?
Smaller, yeah. So I think a smaller version would. would be fine, but what I was thinking to use a bigger model with a quantized model. So it's like a bigger model, but then they have a something in place. So it reduced their size, but it's still that particular model will have that many billion parameters. So it tries to include only like some few selective parameters at a time. And I think this is very like conventional practice. We use VLLMs. We call it VLLMs, virtual LLMs. We try to install into those virtual LLMs and use those as an inferencing model.
And do those LLMs require a GPU or
They require GPU.
okay. All right. I'll just have to see. Uh, that's good to know because I can do some research on what if GPUs are available on a closed network.
Steve, I can
Okay.
give you a tool called LLM Checker. It'll tell you what um, model is supported on that piece
Oh,
of hardware.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
drop me the link to that. That'd be great.
I used it on my machine.
Awesome. Yeah, because there's I'll have to see what type of hardware that they have that they're running some of this stuff on. If they include a a built-in GPU into the CPU or the graphics card, or if they do an add-on GPU array.
So you are not asking this from a Ortelius point of view, right? They have like some other use case.
Yeah, it's on when you get into the military and
Mhm.
into the government, uh, it's called the high side. So the low side's unclassified. The high side is top secret. And those
Mhm.
are air-gapped networks.
Okay.
Um, but depending on who you're talking to, I was looking at um, it's called the Oak Ridge National Laboratory. On their closed side, they have a high performance supercomputer, and it does something like it was a crazy number. It was like 1.8 uh not exaflops, but it was like this crazy number of
Mhm.
speed. So for scientific computing, I think it was like 1.6 exaflops or something like that. Let me see if I can find it.
Mhm.
It's like something this number I couldn't wrap my head around. I had to go look up how fast it was. But let's see here. There it is. Yeah, 1.6 exaflops.
Nice.
I don't even know how big that is. It sounds big.
It,
It's a
it's yeah. Uh, so let's see. Let's compare that to a regular PC. Let me go over to Chat GPT and just
It's 1.6
yeah,
quintillion.
1.6. So
These many quintillions per seconds.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. A strong. Okay, so they put it into so a 1.6 exaflop machine will take one second to compute 67 days of work that a desktop would do.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty
So,
fast.
yeah, so it's going to take 1 second to do almost over 2 months worth of work.
Can you imagine if you stuck a quantum processor in there?
That's what they're basically getting to. It's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so the speed difference is 8 million times faster than your standard desktop.
Yeah, my Mac would suck at that.
So it'll have no problem running a 2 billion token. I mean, 2 billion parameter
Yeah.
uh, LLM on a closed network. But um, so that's where I got to find out on the hardware. Now, some of the hardware I've seen floating around is going to be standard, the little bricks. They call them the Nooks, NUCs.
Mm,
Basically a beefed up Raspberry Pi that will have some decent capabilities to it, and possibly a GPU on that. But that's kind of what I've seen going on classified systems that are connected to AWS, GovCloud. They will use Bedrock. So as a service, so those are you can get to the higher Claude models on that. So it's going to be a combination, Nukarsh, where it may be a local LLM that will be used, or one like connected to Bedrock through the same interface.
okay.
And I don't know if Bedrock's moved out the new Opus 4.6 yet on the government side. I'd have to look, but I know Sonnet's out there that we'll be able to utilize, and that should be more than
Mm.
capable of doing what we need to do. But let me know what you when you do your experiment, what the results are next week. That'd be awesome.
Okay, okay.
Anybody else have anything else they want to talk about or they got going on? Once I figure out this Terraform thing and get a clean AWS deployment, I will go circle back around and make sure I'll run all the documentation through Claude or ChatGPT to get it all up to date. So we should have some clean documentation. I do that and I go through and reread it to make sure there's no weird things that the AI models put in there. Because I've had to do some weird things with documentation.
Nice.
So it'll go off on a weird tangent talking about stuff that doesn't even apply. Like I don't know where it found that from, but it decided to add that in. So it's like cut out this whole section because it makes no
Yeah.
sense.
I did that to the AI yesterday, and then it told me I was being sarcastic and annoying.
Well, that does describe you, Sasha. It it
Really?
it it,
Oh,
it
Yeah,
is
Steve.
true.
I think that pretty much nails it. So
Yeah,
what's your issue?
Really?
yeah.
Oh, my word. I better go and get some. Thanks, guys. That's valuable feedback.
Now play nice with your new team.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're annoying and sarcastic. I'm like, no, I just disagree with your, you
Yeah.
know, your
Don't
architecture.
say don't share your beer with the AI, Sasa.
Oh, speaking of that, I it would be interesting to find out if anybody has seen any like repositories on some good like a gist or something like that that has some good prompts that people are using to get some decent responses out of the models for coding. You know, because that whole prompting is such an art form to get them to act the way you want them to do, the
Um,
LLMs too.
yeah, it's true.
Because the biggest thing I've seen is they like to reflect back that everything is fine in the world and they everything that you're doing is correct and you gotta oh nice
Uh,
Arvin.
yeah, it's contained the form of the company uses just to like create their own product.
Oh cool.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at how does it I don't get how I just clicked on it. So it's like a command line? I got it.
Other
Uh,
click on the folder in the repo and it will show you the markdown files.
Yeah, I clicked on the co Claude Code one and it was a bunch of JavaScript in it. That's why I got confused.
I think, yeah, they created the JavaScript file, but if you click on any file, it's just the prompt written in those files.
Oh,
It's
I
like the
see.
actual, the
Yeah,
actual
yeah, yeah.
prompt
Yeah.
that they are even using.
Got it.
But in another example, they are using a .md file, which is for Markdown.
Okay. Good. I'll have to play with that. Oh, I see. And the chat GPT has markdowns.
Yeah. $8 done to AI.
Yeah. Cool. Let me bookmark that one. All right, cool. Anybody have anything else? Alrighty, thanks everybody. And I will keep you posted on Discord how um I struggle with Terraform and Flux. See if I can get that sorted out, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
Take
Alrighty,
care.
thanks everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
We'll see you
Bye.
later.
Yes. Bye.
Yes. Bye.
See you. Bye.